Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Record Breaking Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. Me, your host, Jason, alongside former West Ham and Chelsea striker, the good egg that is Mr. Carlton Cole. Coley, how are you, son?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Do you know what, mate? The Premier League is back with a bang. What a game. What entertainment. What drama. Liverpool faced a scare against Bournemouth, but got the job done on what was an emotional night, of course, as the club and all fans, not just at the ground, but around the world, paid tribute to Diogo Jota. Just how impressed were you, though, by Liverpool's performance? Thought got out of jail tonight, got very, very lucky slot. We're talking about his subs. What was he doing? In the end, Liverpool had too much. But are you a bit concerned about what you look like defensively? I have to say, me and Coley were talking about it. Not great at the back. 03717 223344. As well as that, we're looking into action-packed weekend of the Premier League. And there's a huge night of boxing this weekend. We look forward to that as well, live here on talkSPORT. You know what to do, gang. No calls, no show. We cannot do it without you. 03717 223344. The Premier League is back. Happy Premier League Day. Yes, indeedy. Good evening and welcome to our listen to Sports Bar Weekend. I'm Jason, alongside me for the next 2.5 hours is Carlton Cole. Coley, good evening, sir.
Good evening, mate.
Let's go straight over to Anfield. Joe Shannon has got an interview for us.
Arne Slot, Liverpool manager, with me in the tunnel. Arne, congratulations. What a night at Anfield. How did you see it?
I can talk about football, about tactics, but I don't think I should talk about that. I should talk about how impressive our fans were once again, how powerful the tribute was, the banner at the cup, the way You Never Walk Alone was sung in the 20th minute, in the end of the game. It was all so impressive again. I thought the Tottenham game, they couldn't overperform that if I look at the fans, but they definitely did today. So so impressive.
Is that the most emotional you think you felt on a football pitch? Maybe before, during, after?
Yeah, although the emotions after winning the league, but those were only positive. Now you are fighting against different emotions, sense of pride and how nice it is what the fans do. But definitely also in a moment of that, you realize even more what has happened, knowing that his family is here. Yeah, to a certain extent you feel, how nice this must have been for them to see the banner, to see the tribute, but on the other hand you also know how much pain and grief they have. So that emotions I hope I never have to feel again in my life, but these were definitely special.
There was a lot of emotion in the celebrations too. Almost, I think every celebration, every goal that went in referenced Diogo. Is that part of the motivation for the players this season, you know, to win games for him, win games in his memory?
I don't know, you should ask them. The only thing what I said before the game was, I know one thing for sure, our fans will again be amazing when it comes to the tribute they will do for Diogo. And the only thing I can ask from you in return to that is that you guys give everything to these fans that do so many special things. It is about Diogo today. The fans will give him the tribute he deserves. Now let's us play for the fans then, and I think that's what they did after the 2-2 with the help again of our fans, because the last 6-7 minutes was very special. And even after the game, I would have preferred to stay outside, but I saw so many players walking inside of gate. I thought, but I wanted to thank them for how special they made this day for the family of Diogo.
Well, they were extraordinary tonight. Just one on your players and the character that they showed at 2-2. To come back and score those 2 late goals, they never give up, do they?
No. But you have to give credits to Bournemouth as well for that, because last season we were 3-0 up at half-time and they didn't give up, although it stayed 3-0, but they just kept on going, and today they were 2-0 down. I don't think they deserved to be at half-time 1-0 down. We started off really well the second half, making the 2-0, but again they didn't give up. And it's a team that last season were top of the charts when it comes to match fitness, so they were very high in all the running stats. And that's what you can see today as well, starting off against a team that's so fit, with us having some issues with some players and in some positions. Made it really hard, and that's why I'm extra proud that we, with the help of our fans, could win this game of football against a very good Bournemouth team.
Arno, well done tonight. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Joe, thank you very much. Joe Shannon at Anfield speaking to Liverpool manager Arne Slot, reflecting on what was an incredible, emotional evening there, of course, with Diego Jota being remembered. There was a minute's silence before the game. Clearly, we saw the players' faces and how much it meant to them. It was a tricky game, this one. And I've gone alongside Carlton Cole. Sorry, Coley, we had to go back to Anfield, of course.
No, that's all right.
Listen, there's no point asking him, because I know you are, but just want to talk about the game itself going into it. This was a tricky one for Liverpool because of the emotion and what this game meant and how they were going to get through it. And in the end, they did. We'll talk about how the game played out, but it was a tricky one. The result, I think, was more important than the performance tonight, but we'll talk about that as well.
Yeah, the result was the main factor in this tie. First, look, there's many things. Like, obviously, you've got the first game of the season. You want to get off to a good start. Then you've got, obviously, the new players coming in, wanted to give a good account of themselves. Then on top of that, you've got the Diogo Jota remembrance game. You would say that to make sure you've done everything in your power to get that win and make sure that he is remembered in the right way. And I think they've done that and made it quite an entertaining game. You'd like to even say his spirit was on that pitch.
It was such an emotional game, understanding that. But when the first whistle blows, the game is the most important thing at that particular moment. Certainly for the next 90, 95, whatever it might be minutes. But we'll talk about the game itself. But the result was so important to Liverpool. Defending champions, the best side in the country last season. But there were examples of frailties that we saw, not just this game, but also against Palace on Sunday.
Can you blame them from psychological, even emotional turmoil they've been in?
I think there has to be a certain amount of slack where you give that. However, that when the whistle goes, you're focused on that. There's going to be a point, and we understand it's a difficult game. Such a tragedy what happened. And we all understand and get that. And this was a very, very tough game. And as I said, the result was the most important thing. The performance, yes, you want to put performance, but they won. They got over the line. They got out of jail. And I think we need to give Bournemouth credit on a slot there. By the way, you talk about disruptions in squads. Think about what they've had to do, by the way. 3 of their back 4 last season have all gone. But we played
against one as well.
And indeed, in Kirkes, right? But it was a brilliant game. If ever you need an example of what the Premier League can deliver, wowzers, we saw it. And that's the first game of what is going to be a huge season here. And I think we showed tonight, actually, this is going to be a slightly tougher defence for Liverpool than it was to win it last season. 03717 22 33 Let's go to the lines. Let's go and speak to Anthony, who's a Liverpool fan. Anthony, good evening, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, very well. Were you at the game, man?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You worked. Can I just ask you first, because you're the first caller, you were there, how did you feel going to the game, going to Anfield, knowing how emotional this was going to be, bearing in mind what happened, that tragedy in the summer?
I have to be honest, I was okay. I think, the initial reaction was one of sort of shock and disbelief, and you feel guilty actually because you don't know this guy and his wife and his kids. So I'll be honest with you, I remember as a footballer, but every time I think of Jota, I just think what his family must be going through. And I hear they were there today, and I just hope that they got just a shred of comfort. You know what I mean? It's hard. But look, I was, I was actually, what I would say is, I was a bit the football's come back a bit too soon, and I'm not quite sure whether that was potentially part of it. I mean, it's been a weird summer. I mean, we won't win the league. The Spurs game, the Crystal Palace game was so amazing, and then we have what happens at the parade, and then what happens to Jota. So it's been a bit of a mad summer, to be honest with you, in terms of looking back at such joyous moments, and then those 2 events, and obviously the passing of Jota and how hard-hitting that was. And it was interesting, really. I came on the call to make a point about, the defence and all like that, and you guys have just made a point about, how the players must be feeling, and I'm like, God, yeah, they must be, and I saw some footage after the game of Salah upset in front of the fans, and this is their mate. These are shared the best memories with, and you've got to give them slack. You've got to cut them a lot of slack.
Yes.
You really have. So yeah, look, I just think about the family and the kids. I'll be honest with you, and those who knew him on a personal level, and I think that's all I can say about it, really.
For me, I'm not saying this game was a free hit. It wasn't. You need to get the points on the table. These type of games, these are the type. I was saying to you when they got the the winning goal, Chiesa. Yeah. I said that's a title-winning team. They pull in the right direction. They pull together when it's needed. Can switch it on, go and get that win. But I wouldn't berate them too much if they didn't. Because they've gone through an emotional turmoil right now. Like, they're trying to calculate their feelings, how much to exert, and its energy's up. And I don't care what. And you're playing at the elite level, yeah. And we say, these players got to be able to handle pressure. They got to be able to do. They're still human beings, and they still got that connection, that emotional connection to their mate. And I thought at the start of the game, they actually was playing very emotional. Like some of the challenges that were going in, it was really, because you can feel. I've played at Anfield. When you play there, and you got the fans behind you, and you're there, and you might overexert yourself because you know that everyone's on your side, and you might want to do more. It's hard to get that balance. But once they found their feet, they got the first goal, settled the nerves. Then they go for the second. Then it became a little bit dodgy, I would say, because obviously the defending wasn't on point. I thought some of the defending frailties showed. And that's what I'm worried about for them going further on in the season, because you can't rely on scoring 4 goals all the time.
No, you can't.
I know it's the first game, but now I can give them I cut them some slack because of what's happened in the summer.
You know what, Cole? You're absolutely right. And Mark, Anthony, it's our job is to discuss the game, dissect it, analyse it, work out what bits went well, what bits didn't. I think tonight is very difficult to really analyse who Liverpool are this season and where they're going to go because of the emotion and because of the way the game went. There were frailties tonight defensively. We saw it, right? And Bournemouth, when it went 2-2, absolutely deserved it. There's no getting away from it.
They took advantage of it.
They took whatever was going on, right?
They took advantage of it.
But then the flip side, you go, but Liverpool got over the line and they managed to win it. I think we might have to just park this game for parts of the analysis about saying what happened there today. Yeah. Having said that, Anthony, there were moments today where Liverpool defensively looked a little bit all at sea, and Semenyo, the best player on the pitch, by the way, he was outstanding tonight. And to not be for him to lose just goes to show that
the levels.
Sometimes you don't get what you deserve in football. But I just want your thoughts on that, Anthony, please.
Yeah, sure. So at the end of the day, we've got 2 new defenders starting in a back 4 that have played probably between them over pre-season less than 90 minutes together. So, I think they're still learning to play with one another. I thought Frimpong had a good game. I think Kerkez looks a little bit suspect, but again, you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, new club, new team and all like that. And perhaps going into the Newcastle game for certain, I'd look to bring in Andy Robertson for that, just to give that sort of consistency. But I think there's 2 things I've noticed about us. I was at the Charity Shield game at the weekend, and in the final third, they're playing a different way, very intricate passing. And if it goes right, it's brilliant. Huerta's on the ball, Ekitike goes through. But we saw it a few times. I think it was Szoboszlai maybe for the first goal, where he tried to pass it and they picked it up and they had a counter attack. Now hopefully Gravenberch, when he comes back, provides some stability there. But I think you've got to have this, and I just think between now and possibly Christmas, I think the way out of this, and I know it sounds an obvious statement to make, but I just think we need to score more goals than the opposition. I know that's obvious, but I think that's
that's tough though. Do you know what I mean? It's all well and good saying it, and that's
it is.
Yeah, you don't want to be. And listen, Anthony, safe journey home, bud. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Great call, mate.
You can't be relying, as you said, Cole, at the top of the show. You can't be relying on 4 goals every game to win that. No. As again, I think we need the caveat is, of course, how emotional it was. However, we need to look at the game as it was. Let's go and speak to another Liverpool fan. Ricky has dialed 03717 223344. Ricky, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi guys, you okay?
Welcome, Rick. Were you at the game?
No, I couldn't go today. I'm not going to lie, but I do usually go. But I mean, I watched it. But you know what? If you want to talk about the game, it was emotional, and you know, it's nice to see the guys, especially Salah at the end. You know, he's upset and he shows his true colours there. That he loved the guy. It was his brother. But you know, may everyone be happy now that they've got back together. They're showing that they're trying to play. But the problem I see, and Jamie Carragher says it all pre-season, we're not right. The balance is not right. The defence has a problem, and it's between the defence and the attack. We need a proper number 6. That's the problem. We have not replaced Fabinho. And I seen today Konate. Yeah, I don't know if he's making a lot of mistakes. I don't know if he's got his head saying that he wants to go or he's not too sure. But today, I've seen him have a real bad game. And I think if Liverpool don't put this right, better teams are going to destroy us. We like sometimes press our own self-destruction button. We're going 2-0 up. I'd rather Liverpool win that game 2-0 than 4-2. No, I see holes in the team.
Yeah. No, we was having a discussion about Konate. I don't think he was great today.
So he got a year left in his contract, right?
Yeah. So is his head?
I don't know.
Is he in the best of head shapes right now? Because you know, like sometimes, like when you don't know what your future is, or there might be someone in your ear, your agent or whatever, and you might be thinking, I might not even be here by the end of the window. Like maybe that plays a factor in your performance. But I understand where you're coming from, where he wasn't really at the races today, and it is a hard one to call because you don't know what's actually going on.
That's why we know we need to go and buy Gay. We need him now.
Yeah.
Liverpool need to break the bank and bring him.
Well,
now.
you just brought in a youngster, haven't you? You just brought a youngster, Leone.
Yeah, but he's only 18.
Yeah, I know.
This guy's for the future.
Yeah.
He's not going to go and play all the games.
No, I get you.
Premier League winner.
Now, Ricky, do you know what? Right, I think there were two things that struck me for Liverpool's transfer targets. I can only imagine what Isak must have thought when Ekitike finishes
he
that.
was amazing today.
Ekitike was brilliant. We'll talk about him. But Isak must be sitting thinking, oh my God, no, I didn't want him to score. But then you go the other end of the pitch and you think, Liverpool needs something at the back. They conceded 4 goals in 2 games against Palace and Bournemouth, by the way. Right?
See what I think. You know, Isak. Yeah, we need him anyway because obviously there's so many games. And you're always going to get injuries, right? And he's a top player. We need him. Simple as that. I also believe that we've not replaced Luis Diaz, which I think was the worst mistake. We should never have sold that guy. He was one of our top players. But if Liverpool don't get this right, if they don't buy a winger and they buy Isak, they need to go and buy a number 6 because what it is, this team, you know, your Arsenal, Chelsea, City, all them teams now are going to be stronger, and I think we won't win the league like playing like this.
No, listen, Rick, I appreciate the call. No, you won't win the league playing like that. I think most Liverpool fans will understand that, but I think we have to caveat the fact that it was an emotional evening at Anfield. Started, like you said, Coley, first 25 minutes of that, I see Arne Slot getting there. There was a couple of challenges. I see McAllister get involved in 1 or 2 things. The goal settled things down. But to concede 2 goals, and when you're 2-0 up, and I thought got out of jail, shows that Liverpool aren't quite right yet. But transfer window still open. 03717223344. Next up, Liverpool fans want to continue taking your calls on what was an unbelievable game, an opening game to the Premier League season. This season is going to be as strong as you've ever seen, I believe. 03717223344. You are listening to the Sports World Weekender here on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT betting app today. 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Good evening. Thank you very much for your company. Listen to the Sports Bar Weekender here on what's turned out to be an unbelievable start to the Premier League. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. It doesn't really quite tell you the story. It was an amazing game. Liverpool struggled to settle in the opening exchanges of the game, but Ekitike got his first goal. Certainly, I know he scored in the Community Shield last week, but of course this one was the one that mattered. And went 2 up Liverpool early in the second half from Kie's got the winner, but it turned out that Bournemouth managed to get back to 2-2, and Semenyo scored both of their goals. There was an unsavoury incident that needs to be addressed. The referee, Taylor, stopped the game in the 29th minute and spoke to both managers. The Premier League opener between Liverpool and Bournemouth stopped the first half after Semenyo reported being racially abused. This is a message from the Premier League Match Centre. They issued this statement. Tonight's match between Liverpool Football Club and AFC Bournemouth was temporarily paused during the first half after a report of discriminatory abuse from the crowd directed at Bournemouth Semenyo. This is in line with the Premier League's on-field anti-discrimination protocol. The incident at Anfield will now be fully investigated. We offer our full support to both player and clubs. Racism has no place in our game or anywhere in society. Will continue to work with stakeholders and authorities to ensure our stadiums are inclusive and welcoming environment for all. Coley, you and I were sat in the green room watching the game,
yep.
And when it happened, and it's really sad that you said this to me. We didn't know what was going on, and the first thing you said to me, well, not the first thing, you said to me, I bet someone's been racially abused, right? And we didn't know. No one knew. 5 minutes later, it turned out that was the case.
Listen, I'm bored of it. I'm just bored of it because now I can predict it, as you saw. And didn't know what was going on. I just saw the 2 captains were speaking to the referee and the 2 coaches were together. So I knew it was nothing to do with being like the 2 clubs going at against. Mm-hmm. But what I would say is I weren't surprised that it was someone from the crowd that was abusing someone on the pitch. And I just didn't want it to be racism, but I already knew in my head it was, because when I saw the last picture, it was Semenyo on the sides, and then something stopped. The whole game stopped. So I just put 2 and 2 together. Now, where do we go from here? What do we do to make things right on a day like this where it's so emotional, and you're coming out of your way to abuse a player on the opposite side, obviously, but you've got black players on your team. So what are you abusing?
Well, it's never going to make sense, Coley. It's never going to make sense. I don't get it. Don't understand it.
But you're going out
knuckle draggers. This is the lowest of the low. Okay, and at that particular time, it's not like that the game wasn't going Liverpool's way. We can only look. We're speculating at the moment. We believe it was a Liverpool fan that racially abused Semenyo, and we're still waiting for more of that. More information will come, I'm sure, in the coming hours and days. But it just goes to show we saw the very best today of what the Premier League can deliver. Yet still, there is an ugly stain on the game.
On the first game of the season. So everyone's supposed to be happy football's back. I know. And you want to come out your way and do that to an elite professional that's dedicated to his sport and just mention his colour, or that irks you. You're trying to get under his skin. You don't need to. What are you trying to do? Achieve it? Like, it just makes no sense. Just get on with football. Let's just talk about football. Why are we talking about the colour of our skin?
Coley, it's never going to make sense. Coley, we can't make sense of something that doesn't make sense.
But that's what I already predicted. It was that, and bingo, I was right, and I didn't want to be right. So it is what it is anyway. And then it's just got to be dealt properly by the Premier League. Make sure that, and I'm glad that they've addressed it. I'm glad that the referee reacted the way he did. I believe the way it was handled was proper. And Semenyo, I have to commend him, because what did he go and do? He just showed it in his performance.
He stuck it down his throat.
Showed it in his performance. Yeah. He was unbelievable. Like, what a player he is, by the way.
I know, but we're in a situation. I remember I'd done a show with Darren Lewis. It must have been 15 to 20 years ago, right? And we had this conversation about something very, very similar. And Darren Lewis said to me, players should walk off the pitch. And I said to him, no, you can't let them do it. And Darren said, no, they've got to. Do you know what? He was right. He was right back then. And do you know what? Semenyo and Bournemouth should have walked off the pitch. That's what should have happened, and it would have put a flag in the ground saying, "This is it. This has just happened. This is it." And
don't you think they win?
No. Do you know what?
Don't you think they?
I don't know the answer. But what I'm saying is, when Darren said that to me all those years ago, I didn't agree with it. I said, no, that will. I'm not sure. I think I'm wrong back then. I think now you have to walk off the pitch. You go. You throw the game into chaos. That's what you do. You put a flag in the sand. You say, this is it. This is what happened. This game is going to get replayed, and you walk off. That is the only way to react now, Coley. It's gone on for...
It's the first game, and it's going to cost the Premier League so much.
Coley.
And that's the statement, and I get what you're saying. But, I have to commend what Semenyo done, and if you can have it... Sometimes it doesn't go your way, even if you've just been abused, and then you go and walk off the pitch. That is the right thing to do. I understand. No,
for me now,
if it goes
you walk off,
way,
you go, you disappear and say, no, and everyone walks off.
Semenyo goes on to have a brilliant game, after that. So
he does, Coley, right? And credit to him.
Yeah, credit to him.
Credit to him. But when is it? How are we ever going to change?
It's not going to change.
What's going to happen? When is it going to change? How is it going to change? Unless someone makes a stand and says, "This, I've had enough. This has gone on for two."
It's the people.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? It's the people around the person sending the abuse. They got to sort it out. They, like, as a human being, if I hear you or you hear me saying something wrong, you got to call me out for it. Say, hold on a minute. What are you doing? Like, us as a human race have to be responsible for each other's actions sometimes. Because if I'm seeing something that's wrong, I've got to call it out. I've got to come to the aid of another human being that's being abused. It's the right thing to do. But if you don't say nothing, you're just as bad as them. And you hear it, you're just as bad as them. You're condoning it.
It's hard, isn't it, Colin?
It is, but it is what it is. And we just got to be responsible for each other as human beings. I've got to say, we can't always go to the authorities, because the authorities, most of the time, they don't care anyway, because it's not them. So we got to be responsible for ourselves as human beings. That's it.
Unfortunately, what was a brilliant Premier League game, in the opening game of what's going to be, I'm sure, a very amazing Premier League season. Unfortunately, the stain on it was that there was some racial incident that was reported to Anthony Taylor. Semenyo was racially abused. We will let you know more as and when it comes, but the Premier League have issued a statement, and when that comes out, we will we will let you know. Keep the calls coming, please, gang. 03717 22 It's the opening day of the Premier League season. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. That doesn't tell the whole story. The incidents were aplenty. Liverpool going 2 up weren't particularly great. Bournemouth coming back, and late goals from Chiesa and Salah ensured the league champions won their first game of their defence. Keep them coming. 03717 22 3344.
The Lions. Real-life fantasy rugby. Bitter rivalries set aside in a quest to create the world's best team in weeks. There's nothing like it, but who on earth had the idea and how did it all begin? Incredibly, the first Lions tour was organised and funded by three men who played in England's first ever Test cricket match. Opening bowler Alfred Shaw, opening batsman Arthur Shrewsbury and captain James Lillywhite. The 1888 Lions squad then, made up of 17 English, 4 Scots and 1 Welshman and a Northern Irishman, took a 46-day boat trip to New Zealand before heading to Australia. The Lions weren't alone on the boat. Also on board were 300 stoats and weasels who were brought over to eliminate New Zealand's rabbit problem. The first ever Lions captain, Robert Seddon, died of drowning midway through the tour while sculling on a river. Andrew Stoddart, who was another of the cricketers there, took over and was the star of the tour. The next one was the first to get official recognition from the RFU against the newly formed Springboks. Although the Lions won the series and beat the Boks again 5 years later, in the 12 series since in South Africa, they've only won 2. New Zealand has proved an even tougher hunting ground, just the 1 series win for the Lions in 11 attempts, which came in 1971. And then there was that nail-shredding drawn series in 2017, only the second in Lions history. Only once have the Lions clinched a series after losing the first test, 1989, when David Campese's infamous ghost pass was pounced upon by Ian Evans. Before World War II, the Lions had a dark blue strip, which on the 1930 tour forced the All Blacks to play in all white. So in 1950, the iconic red shirts, white shorts and blue and green socks combination was born. It remains the symbol of the greatest alliance of adversaries in all of sport. To borrow the phrase from Jim Telfer, the Lions is Everest.
Good evening, you want to listen to the Sports World Weekender here on talkSPORT. He's Carlton Cole. I'm Jason Cundy. We're going to continue taking your calls. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. The story of the game is very, very different to the scoreline. It looks like comfortable for Liverpool, but it wasn't. Bournemouth were excellent. Liverpool managed to get the noses in front, 2 goals up, and you felt that that was going to be the way the game, and not a bit of it. Semenyo was racially abused, manages to score 2 goals to get them level on terms, but Chiesa, a late goal from him, a late goal from Salah as well, ensured the points go to the reigning champions. 03717 223344. Let's head back to the lines. Let's go and speak to Ethan, who is a Liverpool fan. Ethan, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hiya, Jason. Hiya, Carlton. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. We're good,
bud. Were you at the game, Ethan?
Yes.
You were.
Sat in the Anfield.
Go on. Tell us.
What do you think of it, mate?
Sorry, say that again.
Tell us what you saw, bud.
Well, you know, I'm just disappointed as a Liverpool fan that this game was marred by the incident in the first half. I thought that was out the game by now. We should be sat here talking about a good performance, a good game, the start of the season, and obviously the sad incident with Diogo Jota, but we're talking about this yet again.
It's getting boring, isn't it? It's getting boring. Listen, let's talk about the game, though. Let's talk about the game, because I don't want to give this guy too much credit by talking about it. Let's let the authorities handle it. So what did you think about the game from start to finish?
You're absolutely right, Carlton. I mean, I was impressed with parts of the game. I think the new signings obviously need to bed in. Mm-hmm. I thought that he looked like he struggled physically, for me anyway. Kirkes, it's always tough playing against your old team. They know what he brings. We're expecting a lot, obviously, I was impressed with Frimpong. I was impressed with him. And obviously Ekatike. I mean,
he was
wow.
an animal today, wasn't he? He was really, really good. Like,
he was the shining light, wasn't he?
I was looking at him. I was thinking, this guy's got the lot.
Yeah, he was the one that made things happen.
Like, he can run in behind. He can come to feet. Yeah. He gets in front of goal. He took his goal really well, and I think that's one of the criticisms that he's probably been marred with since he's come to the club, that he's not a finisher, and he does all the other stuff really well. But it showed today when he got in front of goal, his first goal for the club, he took it well, didn't he? He took it right in his stride. But
100%.
100%. I wanted to go back on because I was asking you off air what you thought of Wirtz's performance.
I thought it was a tough night for Wirtz, and we Liverpool fans will give him time. Of course, the boy is a major talent. We've seen it. He's now got to transfer what he did in Germany over to the Premier League. It's not easy, that. It's a tough transition. There's not many. And I asked Coley, actually, how many players from German football have come for big money into the English Premier League and actually done it? There ain't many. And I don't quite know why that is. I can't answer that.
For me, I think it's the same type of football, but it's slower. So it showed that Wirtz, like, he was trying to get the ball in the half turn, but as soon as he's thinking to touch the ball, someone's on him straight away. So he's got to be a bit more cute with his movement to get into spaces to take it on the half turn. Yeah. He's got to disguise it a little bit more. Even some of it, he just looked a little bit slow, like he was tired. So it wasn't an energised performance that I thought it should have been from a player like him that's going to have to make things happen and make it tick.
I think, Ethan, as you as a Liverpool fan, you tell me if I'm right or wrong here, but I think today's game, we got the points, move on, but things need to improve. I don't know how much we can analyse that and pick from that, actually. It feels tough because of the emotion.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think today was all about getting the 3 points.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For me, anyway. Yeah. And then you go to Newcastle next week, and I mean, I am dreading that game, 100%, because obviously everything with the Isak saga, their fans are going to be right up for that. So I just think that is, like, really bad for us. But for me, if I was Arne Slot, I mean, I think Arne Slot's substitutions today were very strange. To bring Ekatike.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
On the 60th minute.
Yeah. Well, bringing off both fullbacks.
The fullbacks on the 60th minute.
Yeah, I mean, I was flabbergasted by that.
Shall I tell you what that is? I'll tell you what that is. That's listening to your sports science section too much.
Do you think so?
It's sports science.
What red zone? In the red zone?
Yeah, because, we've got to play them this much because we want to... No, they're professional footballers. Let them play until they're tired.
We put Endo right back.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And they didn't come off injured. No. Why are you changing it?
I think if you're trying to see out a game, you need a proper striker on the pitch. You need to play the ball forward and have someone up there who knows how to hold it up.
Which he was doing.
What runs to make. Yeah. I mean, to put Florian Wirtz up front in the last 15 minutes when you're trying to see out a game is just ludicrous for me.
But you know what, right? I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I thought the subs were strange. But he brings on Chiesa, and Chiesa goes on and gets the win effectively. So, he rectified it. He kind of got it right after getting it wrong.
Right. Yeah.
I think, anyway. Listen, safe journey home, Ethan. Thanks very much for the call. Let's go and speak.
Do you think taking off Ekatike, was like a call to the board saying, listen, go and get Isak, please, because we need someone else, not just Ekatike, because he might get tired. But I know I've taken him off prematurely, but I'm just showing you we'd still need something else.
I don't know.
Huh? Because they don't have anything else.
No, I don't know. But like Anthony, his name, he said that Wirtz went up top, and he brings on Gomez. That was the substitution. He brought Gomez on for Ekatike.
Oh.
So Gomez went up right back. That's what Gomez did, and then Endo moved further.
Yeah.
Keep the calls coming, gang. 03717223344. You're listening to the Sports Bar Weekend here on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18+, BigGambleAware.org. Good evening. You are listening to talkSPORT, Sports Bar Weekender. It's Premier League Day. Happy Premier League Day to you guys as well. Can't come. I'm Jason Cundy. Still come. We'll have a usual Friday night quiz. And we need your help. 03717 2233 First off, let's go back to Anfield. Joe Shannon's got Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola.
Yes, I'm with the Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola in the tunnel at Anfield. Well, what a night. What did you make of what you saw?
Yes, different feelings. From one side, very proud of the performance of the team. I think we've kind of played a very level game against Liverpool. That means that you've performed really well, but it's true that the most important thing is we go without points from here. I think we've missed a big chance today.
At one stage, especially at 2-2, you probably thought you could go on and win the game.
Yes, I think we changed the momentum of the game. No, I was really pleased even with how the team was playing until the 2-0. No, I think we were playing with composure, probably not finishing well our transitions, but we kept playing the same way. We were, I think, damaging them from the outside, from both wings, and we got the goals, and probably the momentum was for us. No, but these kind of clubs, they find always someone that makes the difference. In this case, has been Chiesa, lovely finish, probably situation between two players, we don't clear properly the ball, but this is what they have. No, at the end in the box, they don't forgive you, and they found a way to beat us today.
I know it was a disappointing result for you, but did you feel the emotion from the Liverpool fans pre-match and throughout?
Yes, I think it was a very emotional night before the whistle. No, obviously. It was the moment, to pay a big tribute, to Diogo, to his brother, to overall to the family, of Liverpool from our side. We wanted to be also supporting in our from our side. I think our supporters also, they were really respectful and paying a tribute to Diogo and the brother, and also during the game, Anfield has been like on the big occasions, a night game, first game of the season, a lot of people watching. Probably the big shame of the game is what happened with Antoine. Things that you want to think that you already we are over all these things, but definitely we are not. And it's a shame. It's a shame because still there is work to do in that aspect, yes.
Yes, how is Antoine, and how appalled are you that this is still happening, and that only 30 minutes into the season and we're talking about this again?
I think he has reacted really composed. He has talked with the referee. The referee has explained the situation to Arne, to me. Obviously, live I didn't notice anything, but for sure, Antoine has been after the incident thinking on these things. To be fair, I think Liverpool have done a good job identifying also the person, even the players, after the game, trying to support Antoine. And now probably I've seen him worse after the game when he was in the changing room and probably thinking on things that he shouldn't be thinking.
Last one, is there much more that football authorities can do to stop this sort of thing? Do they have to be stronger? Do there have to be stronger punishments, perhaps?
I think from Liverpool side, from the police side, I think they've done their job. Obviously, I hope they can correct this person, but it shows us that there is still work to do in things that are part of football and are part of the society. Sometimes with the messages you think we are like making steps forward, but today has been like an alert, like, okay, we still have a lot of things to do.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
That was Joe Shannon with Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola. They were excellent, by the way, Bournemouth. They really did play their part in what was a brilliant game of football, the opening game of the Premier League season. Gave Liverpool a scare. There was a point in that game, and he asked the question, where it felt that 2-2, I felt that Bournemouth looked the more likely to go on and get 3 points. But, of course, Chiesa gets that goal late on, and then Salah does what Salah does. Let's go and speak to James, who's a Bournemouth fan. All right, James, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, James.
All right.
All right. All right. Oh, is that what you got? All right.
All right, lads.
All right, lads. All right. Did you go, James, to the game?
Yeah, I'm just driving back from the game now.
Right, okay. It's a long old journey, bud.
Yeah.
So how was it for you? How'd it go?
That was devastating. That was when that Chiesa goal went in. My head was in my hand.
Oh.
It was long, but So with Semenyo, like, what a player he is. Honestly, I know you guys have been banging on about him all night on here, but what a player to see him in the flesh. A goal scoring winger like that, 2 feet, special player. I mean, teams are charging big money. Like Brighton are charging how much for Belabor and all these different players. Semenyo's got to be worth close.
Why are you trying to sell him? Jimbo, why are you trying to sell him though?
You're putting a price on him.
I'm not trying to sell him.
Well, it sounds like you are now. It's like you're his agent.
I'm just saying. Like, you know, let's put.
He's a great player. For me, he's one of those players. Listen, man, he's one of those players that he gets bums off seats as well. And the thing about it, he's grown into this player. He's developed so well into this version of a teammate. Imagine he's your teammate and you're seeing him blossoming like this. It's
his second goal was a thing of beauty, actually. Because Evan Nilsson actually does well to take Van Dijk. They don't know whether stick or twist. Konate and Van Dijk, the pair of them don't know what they're doing. It really did show the pair up, actually, and that should be concerning for Liverpool. But Semenyo, I mean, the window. I don't want to scare you, James, but you just phoned up, giving us a price, right?
What did you
and
say?
The window's still open.
What did you say? 50 million?
No. Give us 120.
Give over.
Honestly.
You never know. Stranger things have happened in this market.
Him over Isak any day, and I can't be convinced otherwise.
What?
I'm sorry.
All right, then. All right.
Well, look, the thing is, you've lost 3 players in this window. In fact, I want to talk about Iriela. That performance tonight, 3 of the back 4 have changed. He's integrated these players and come in, right? That's Kirkes tonight. We all know Howson has gone. That back 4 has changed. But what a performance! You must be so proud, by the way, James. Yeah. You guys were really, really good tonight.
Of course, I'm absolutely. They done me proud because the way we come back into that game, the whole country watching, and we've done ourselves proud, and we actually, in my opinion, deserved something from that game.
It's hard to say no about that. I agree with that, James.
We were well on top for large periods of the game.
Second half,
Semenyo was causing Kirkes serious problems. Yeah. They kept launching it up to him early. He was bullying him. They had to bring him off.
Do you think he had the psychological upper on? Do
you know what? I thought Kirkes actually done the right first half.
No.
There was one challenge. There was one challenge where he booted him up in the air. Do you remember that? On that?
Yeah, I remember.
You know, he's left a bit.
You know what, Jace? You know what? You trained with a player so long. Yeah. And then you get to obviously you go on different sides eventually. You move teams. You still have that. If you've always had the upper hand on this player in training,
you might,
and you've done bits against him. When it comes to the match, there's like a little psychological battle that's got to be won on the pitch right there and then with my ex-teammate. So I'm not sure if there was a little bit of that with Kirkes and then Semenyo eventually getting the upper hand. Or it was just that Semenyo was just good. I think there was a little bit of that, knowing that I've skinned this player a few times in training. I could do it again, and he knows that I can do it because I've done it to him loads of times in training repetitively. Right. So you never know. Like there might be that, and that's probably why that happened with Kirkes. But I thought Kirkes was quite decent the whole game, really, apart from a little bit of the Semenyo stuff.
I thought it was a good battle between the players.
It was a good battle.
Kirkes is a top player. That's why we got 40 mil for him. But one thing I will say about the game is that if Dango Ouattara, who's just moved to Brentford, I think we win that game because we would have had more pace, we'd have had more power, but the club feel like they can take 45 mil for Dango Ouattara, and they think that's a good price tag, so they've taken it. But if he was there, that game might have been completely different. But
you can't fault the club. You can't fault the club right now because they're coming up trumps. They're giving Liverpool, the likes of Liverpool at Anfield, by the way, a run for their money.
Give a run for the money. James, listen, thanks for the call. Drive carefully. Let's go and speak to a Liverpool fan. Aiken has dialed 03717 223344. Aiken, good evening. Welcome to the show, bud.
Evening, guys.
You all right, matey? Were you at the game tonight?
I wasn't. I saw it on TV.
Saw it in the box. All right, okay. What did you make of it?
To be honest, everything is clouded by what happened to Antoine Semenyo. My entire outlook with that just it's kind of tainted it for me really, and that's as a Liverpool fan. I don't understand, as Jason said earlier, there is no rationality behind it. I just hope he gets prosecuted, whoever it was. You just have to go hard. I mean, if it was another player, then sure, you all come off the pitch, you walk off the pitch.
No,
but when it's fans...
Akin, you heard what I had to say. I think the time has come now where that has to happen. I think that I think the teammates, I think the opposition managers, I think there has to be a point. I was of the opinion that was not the right thing to do because they win. I think we've seen enough now.
I don't think. I think if it was an opposing player that did it, then sure, everyone come off. But when it's the fans, I don't think you can stop the game. I think you have to.
What makes the difference for you? What makes the difference? Why is it different?
Because you're punishing X number of thousand other fans.
Yep.
As well as the two teams.
Yep. And that's the reason you do it, in my opinion. Now. That's it.
It's got so delicate now.
You disrupt the whole system.
That is just never going to happen if it's a fan. If it's a player,
why is it not going to happen? Why? Okay. Go on.
Because if let's say a team unilaterally walks off the pitch,
yep.
Our teammate has been racially abused or abused in any way like that.
See, this is the thin line. It's such a grey area. Footballers get abused. Right, that comes with the territory, but there is but you can't just walk off if someone says something about your wife or your kid.
I mean, something discriminatory.
Yeah.
Well, the subject that we've been banging on about for the last however long,
God knows, all my life,
all our lives. Like. So,
Akin, where are you from?
There has to be affirmative action.
Where are you from, Akin?
I was born in Nigeria.
Yeah. Right. So you're black.
Your name's Akin. Your name's Akin Shola. Akin Fola?
Akinola.
Oh, Kanola, that's it. Yeah.
Akin, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're a black man, right? So you're a Liverpool fan. How does that make you feel, knowing that one of your fellow supporters has racially abused a member of the opposition team?
Well, when I said it makes no sense, how many black players are on our team? It doesn't.
I know, but that's never going to make sense. Honestly,
exactly. Exactly. So
and you cheer the ones that you support on the pitch.
Gakpo scored tonight. Salah scored tonight.
I know.
Ekitike scored tonight.
Who scored a goal?
You know,
wasn't black.
Chiesa's Italian. I mean, where do you want to go with this?
It doesn't make any kind of sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's ludicrous.
It's just weird, isn't it?
And that's why. I think you were right, though. Both of you, the people around them in the ground have to point them out. They have to be kicked out. They have to be banned from all football forever and prosecuted.
Yeah.
Well,
until that happens, people won't feel any consequence.
No.
Well, do you know what? We believe, speculation is they know who this perpetrator is. He's been identified. I'm sure throughout the coming hours and days, we will know exactly who this person is. The police have been involved. It's a real stain on what should have been and actually was a brilliant day of football and the opening day of the Premier League.
Match.
Yeah.
An excellent exhibition from both sides.
Yeah.
And we were honouring Diogo Jota.
Yeah.
His family were in the ground.
This doesn't even reflect.
Like that.
For me, this doesn't even reflect what Liverpool are about. As their fan base, like every time I've been up to Liverpool, they're all welcoming. They're really lovely people.
One individual he doesn't represent a fan base, right?
He doesn't represent any fan base.
No.
So it's just it's a hard subject, touchy subject.
This isn't what people are about. It's individuals now, and we have to get rid of them.
Yeah, they have to go.
I get this. Appreciate the call, bud. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Unfortunately, it's the conversation piece that is all too familiar. I've been having this conversation for the last 20 years.
On here. How many times have we come on there and we've had to address it?
Coley, the last 20 years, this conversation has been going on, and the time, like I said, I just think some he's there at a workplace. He shouldn't have to put up with that. He's taken a throw-in. I believe the situation was taking a throw-in, and the perpetrator has come up to him and abused him, and he's told the referee. At that point there, I think, and it would not, I don't think anyone could complain if Semenyo walks off the field of play and draws a line in the sand and said, this is it. This is the moment. I've had enough. We've had enough. Do something about it. I don't know.
You're right.
I don't know what the answer is, Coley. I'm not even sure there is an answer, mate.
There isn't an answer.
I'm not sure there is.
Let's get them out of the ground.
Keep them coming, gang. You are listening to Sports Bar here. Sports Bar Weekend live here on talkSPORT. He's Carlton Cole. I'm Jason Cundy. This is talkSPORT. Sports Bar. We're talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT betting app today. 18 plus. BigGambleAware.org.
When Sir Jim Ratcliffe took control of footballing operations at United, the Manchester-born billionaire was somewhat welcomed in as a homegrown hero, ready to save the club from the dark days of the Glazers. But in just 12 months, he became a punchbag for many fans. So what happened? Well, let's take a look and you can decide for yourself. Over the last 3 years, the club lost 300 million quid, and Ratcliffe rightfully committed to sorting that. But what seemed to get fans' backs up is the way he went about it. For example, talkSPORT understands staff lunch options at the Carrington canteen have been reduced to just soup and sandwiches.
Good evening. Thank you very much for your company. Happy Premier League season. Yes, the Premier League got off and running. What a game it was. Liverpool 4. Bournemouth 2. We've got game day tomorrow as well. Loads and loads to go at. He's Can't Call. I'm Jason Gay. Still coming. We're joined by Teddy, a member of the production team. He's got a quiz for us and we need your help as well. 03717223344. First off, though, it's now time to take a look at the latest odds with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for exclusive offers and bonuses. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Joining us now is talkSPORT Bet's Ryan Douglas. He joins us now. Ryan, hello, sir. How are you?
Rhino.
I'm very good. Good evening, lads. How are you both? You all right,
matey? What a brilliant start to the Premier League it was. It had the lot, didn't it? I mean, Bournemouth ran Liverpool really, really close in the end. Liverpool had a bit too much for them, but Bournemouth showed what they've got under the belt. What a manager they've got there, by the way. But let's have a look at the following games. With Villa take on Newcastle live here and exclusive on talkSPORT 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. It's one of those games you look at and think, wow, these two sides, one of the richest sides in the world, the pair of them, they can't spend any money. It's where's this one go?
Shocking, isn't it? It's shocking that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's a nice way to kick off the first Saturday of the Premier League, though, isn't it? Because these two teams, I don't know, with the Isaac shouts, maybe not, but they'll be making a lot of people's top 5 shouts, won't they? Certainly Villa, I know, is making a lot with the people I speak to. It's going to be a cracker. It's not without its controversy, of course. I'm sure we'll get onto the Isaac topic in a second when it comes to picking out goal scorers. But what I'll tell you right now is Villa are obviously the home side, and they are the favourites for this at 6-5. Newcastle find themselves on at 21-10 to beat Villa at Villa Park, and the early kickoff draw is 13-5. So what I'll do is I'll point the listeners out to a few talkSPORT bet boosters, right? So Ollie Watkins to score anytime. Obviously, he's been subject to a lot of links, mainly to Manchester United, but he's still at Villa. As it stands, the Villa fans will be hoping that's the case when the window shuts. It's boosted. I was going to pick him anyway, but it's boosted to 11-8 to score anytime. I quite like that. I also like Villa to win and both teams to score at 14-5, because I still think Newcastle will find a way to score, but I do think Villa will win. Now, this is the part here. You look at the Newcastle bias. There's murmurs it's going to be Anthony Gordon who starts in a false 9-ish role for Newcastle. He's 23-10 any time, but guys, you've got to believe they've got to get the striker situation sorted, right? They can't go into the season too far into the
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah, they do have one. I mean, that's going to be fascinating over the next 19 days or so, however's left of the transfer window. But watch this space.
Yeah, I know exactly. But I mean, what I'll do is I'll point in the direction. Yeah, Anthony Gordon at 23-10. Right, but really, I'm going to stick with Villa to win. Both teams to score 14-5. That's me, boys.
Yeah, look, that situation up at Newcastle is a little bit messy now, isn't it? It's like season's about to start. It's just not ideal for any club to go through. Their star striker is training on his own.
I know. Everyone's saying he comes back, getting back in the squad. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it should be as easy as that, man. Not the way he's gone about it. I think it's going under the radar. Him training in another shirt for another club away from the. I think he's throwing his toys out the pram. I don't think I'd be integrating him back into the squad, especially with the things that have been said. Personally, that is. I don't care how good he is.
He seems like a nice fella, though. Like, I didn't know he had this in him.
Me neither. It came out of nowhere, didn't it? Came out of nowhere.
But it is like, I think there's more to this story than we know. I think there's a little bit more to it. From last season, I think there was promises made that wasn't kept, and it's
I think that
upset.
I think you're quite close to the truth.
I think it's upset him, and it's not gone his way. So he's rebelling. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. So their rival, would you say Newcastle rivals, the derby, the local derby, you would say. The northeast, was it the northeast derby they call it?
Time Weir, right? Time Weir.
Yeah, Time Weir. Sunderland v my old man, West Ham. All right.
West Ham.
So listen, what do you got for me? And be careful on this as well, because
it's not his fault. Set the odds.
What's the messenger,
mate?
Why are you worried?
No, because people are out to get us. People are out to get us.
I was out to get West Ham.
Oh yeah. talkSPORT betters. Look, I bet you any money now.
Irons.
I bet you any money. Come on, Ryan.
Go on,
no,
go on.
I've got good news for you.
Lovely. Well
West Ham are the favourites. West Ham are the favourites, so you can relax. It's fine. They're just over evens. It's actually obviously the 8-year wait for Sunderland, and it's the first time that these two have actually played each other since April 2017 as well. But there's 11 new signings for Sunderland. You can't say they're not trying to adapt to the new league, and it puts them at 23-10 10 to get their first win of the league, but West Ham are the favourites, just over evens.
Right.
So don't worry about that. The draw's on at 9-5. I've got to look at Jared Bowen, haven't I? He scored bagfuls last season, scored in pre-season as well. Few boosted markets for him, so check talkSPORT bet out for that. But 14-5 to get 2 shots on target. I like that, and I'm going to look at that. Now, Cundy, I know you're a fan of the 1-up early payout market, so I'll quickly throw that in. Sunderland at home. You never know. You got to give that perspective. If they get straight into them and they go 1-up, just shy of evens. talkSPORT bet will pay that out straight away.
You're putting that money on that, innit? Look at you. That's the type of person you are. Just looking at that, thinking, I fancy that.
I'm only putting a tenner on Coley.
I know, a tenner. You've gone big.
He's gone big. It's not a bad market, that one, though. I know Cundy likes it, so it removes that having to wait the 90 minutes out. Do you know what I mean? 1-up, payout.
Okay. Manchester United, biggest game of the weekend. Manchester United take on Arsenal. I don't know what we're going to get from Man United. I've tipped Arsenal win the title this season.
Have you?
Do you know I have, mate?
Well, you do that every year.
Do you know what I have?
Have you not done it for the last 4 years?
Do you know what, right? I tipped Arsenal last season.
I know you did, I remember.
You know, I hope I'm wrong again.
Oh, that's why you're doing it. Oh, I see what you're doing there.
I hope I'm wrong.
You're not good at betting.
That's what it'll be. Wow, I did not know that, Cundy.
I tipped him last year as well.
Yeah, he's doing it. I think it's a ritual. So if he does actually, obviously bet for someone else to win, they'll probably go and win the league. So Arsenal, you don't actually want him to say you're going to win the league because it's not going to happen.
You don't want Cundy back in your team.
You don't want it. It's like Drake. It's like Drake.
Yeah, the Drake curse. I know.
The Drake curse.
Yeah.
I feel filthy. I feel filthy, but.
It is filthy. They're on at 5-2 though. They're second favourites. I'm backing your boys, Cundy. I've got to say 7-1 Chelsea. I'm backing them.
Okay.
But I'll bring us back to this game, United versus Arsenal. I mean, both sides obviously significant transfer activity, isn't it? I mean, finally I can enter the conversations of forward lines and front threes. In Mbeumo, Sesko, on paper, significantly better than last season. We'll see how they get on though. What I'll say is talkSPORT bet. Don't forget though, man. They haven't forgot that 15th place because they put Arsenal just shy of evens and favourites for this game, despite being away from home. United 31-10 at the Theatre of Dreams, so they are the outsiders at home. But I would expect that. Don't get me wrong. I didn't fall off my chair when I read that. The draw's on at 11-4. Arsenal to win, both teams to score. It hurts me. I'm a United fan. I've got to say it though. It's on at 11-4 and it's boosted. But here we go. This is what the people want to hear. It's the kind of Gyökeres-Shesko derby, isn't it? Because Arsenal went for Shesko at first. Man United went for Gyökeres. They've both ended up with each other's number one target. But I'll say Gyökeres to score any time is 43-40, just over evens that. Okay. And Shesko's 47-20. So the odds are implying Gyökeres is more likely to score on Sunday in this game.
Ryan, have a great weekend, bud. We'll catch up next week.
Nice one, boys. Always a pleasure.
Top man. Ryan Douglas there from talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for exclusive offers and bonuses. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Next up, we're looking at the Premier League games this weekend, including the blockbuster clash between Manchester United and Arsenal. He's Carlton Cole. I'm Jason Green. This is the Sports Bowl weekend. They're live here on talkSPORT. Now, the NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and our competition to win VIP tickets is now open. That's right, we're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality plus $5 grand spendies in your back pocket. Here is how you enter. 18 plus UK, excluding Northern Ireland, for your chance to win. Text the word CASH, CASH, to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text will cost £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill player's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 338. That's 0. It always makes me laugh. There's so many threes and zeros on it. I'll do it again.
You struggled with that.
No, I didn't. No, I got it. I got it right, but I just want to make sure I got it right. 0330 880 338. All entries must be received by 25th of August. That's by 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Let's go back to the lines. 03717 223344. Let's go and speak to Trevor, who's a Manchester United fan. Trev, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Trev.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very well indeed, Bud. You're a Man United fan. You've got a massive game of the weekend, right?
Massive.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. A banker, yeah, home banker.
A banker. Well, this will set you up if you do go on to win.
We don't know what we're going to get from United. I know I'm getting from Arsenal, right? I just don't know what Man United are going to look like.
Do you know what you're going to get from Arsenal?
I think we do, mate. Yeah, they're a good side. I've tipped them for them in the title. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but...
Away from home, first game of the season.
Wow.
It's the best time to get a win.
Front line looks great, but sort of like once you get into that midfield, I mean, it needs strengthening. It really does. And goalkeeper, very suspect in my opinion as well.
What type of player in the midfield do you want? Just like an athletic type of player?
You have to believe it, right?
Do you know what? Yeah, I watch games and everything, and Carlos Believer, I saw bits and pieces of him, and it's funny how you can get sold on someone. I saw a reel of him for about 2 minutes. And
he's a class act, the kid.
Saw a reel of him for 2 minutes at the end of him. I won't sign him. 100 million sign him.
Mate, I look like prime Ronaldo. Yeah, with my clips. I've seen your clips as well. You look like prime. What do you look like? Who do you think you look like? Who's in your day? You look like a Cafu.
I don't know.
Listen, don't go on the clips. Do not go on the clips. It's just your best bits. No one ever shows their worst.
No, those clips, you can make him look like you said, Maradona. But this kid is a class
act. He is the real deal.
He is a class act. There's no question about it. Go on, what do you want to say, Trev?
Well, I did find about one thing, but actually I feel more compelled to say about something else, if that's okay.
So do what you want, mate.
Right, okay. It's racism in the ground, okay? I think it got sort of like how I think should be dealt with, basically. If it happens, a player hopefully can identify the person that's done it in an ideal scenario. But whatever happens, the player goes to the referee. The referee stops the game. The referee on his headset goes to his chief, goes to whoever's in the ground, who contacts the person who's on the tannoy. The tannoy says, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we've got to pause the game because there's been a racist incident against one of the players. We are the nation of CCTV. If the player hasn't identified the person, we pause the game. There will be boos around and hopefully the person will get flushed out, will get shamed by it. But CCTV would point the person out. You send the police in to arrest the person and handcuff him in front of everyone, and the devil in me would say, drag them across the pitch. At Old Trafford, in front of 75,000 people getting booed, you take the person out, you put them in a meat wagon, go down to the police station, chuck them in a cell, take them to the court next day, found guilty, 12 months. If they're good behaviour, they get out in 6. But it goes on the front page of every national newspaper. This person is banned from every football stadium for life. You name and you shame him and you put his name and his face on the front page. And you think that's going to be deterrent? What do you reckon, Carlton?
Listen, it's a lot to take on. I mean, the dragging across the pitch part, I was you're parading him now.
Yeah.
And he's winning. He gets free entry on the pitch, a Premier League football pitch. I think he's winning on that.
In a way, that's given them the attention that they want.
Exactly. That's what you don't want. That's what I'm saying. I want to move on from this because we're giving him the attention. I don't want to speak about him.
Yeah.
And how he makes us feel. They're winning.
Jason was talking about abandoning the game. I mean,
I'm just saying, walk off the pitch. That's what I would do. I think there needs to be a stand. Walk off the pitch. Now, whether
if you walk off the pitch, you're giving these people aren't of normal intellect. Okay, we've all agreed on that. These people are desperate for attention. It will be notoriety.
I don't know whether they are. I don't know whether they are desperate for attention.
I think they are, mate.
I don't know whether they are. You know.
They are.
No,
I
don't know whether they thought that. I don't know if they thought that deeply about it. I just think it somehow it's a reaction that's in them to make this judgment call to somehow walk up or however they approach them, abuse them racially, and think that's the thing. I would personally, I think that there has to be a stand. The players walk off the pitch. Now, what happens after that? I'm not saying the game gets abandoned completely. I just think there needs to be a stand, a line in the sand, walk off, leave the ground, leave the pitch. And I think that makes because I was watching the game, Coley and I watching it, and the commentator Peter Drury said, "I don't know. We don't know we don't know. We got no information. Eventually, it bled through. Eventually, it did."
The thing, my suggestion initially, the reason I phoned up and was that at the end, it's all very well that the players go up to him and sort of like say, we're sorry about that. And it was great that Slot went up as well and sort of like had a word with him. But I think, and it gets reported, etc. And these things, quite often just get lost. And I thought my initial thought was at the end of the game, right, at the end of the game, you stop being Reds against Blues. Do you know what I mean? You become human beings again. And I think all players would go over to the area, not do anything, not point, not be aggressive in any way, but all players, or black or mixed race or anything that would be anybody that would be racially abused, all players go over, both teams, alternating players, one Bournemouth player, one Liverpool player, one Bournemouth, and they go up and they link arms and they just go and stand there. In solidarity in the corner. Don't say anything, just stand there. And the applause from the crowd as well.
Trev, I understand exactly what you're saying. I get, the emotion of this and how it's, I'm just sick of it. It's never going to end, Cole. I don't think it's, I'm guessing you've been racially abused throughout your time and it's, we've been
Do you know what's more powerful?
Talking about that. Go on.
Do you know what's more powerful? That we're talking about it, yes. But if it's starting to get under the skin of white people too, because they're spoiling a perfectly good game for disgusting abuse that has been levied at another human being
for no reason.
For no reason.
Not that there's ever a reason. Not there's ever a reason.
He doesn't know him personally. He doesn't know him.
Like I said, mate,
so,
you can't make sense because it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. So
you're never going to. You can't make it make sense.
This is what I'm saying. So when it's a white person getting fed up with it now, that shows a lot of where this is going. And as soon as, and it's brilliant that white people are talking about it now, because it has to be said, because before people used to turn a blind eye because it's not affecting them. It's not affecting them. It's not affecting their pockets. It's not affecting them emotionally, and they just say, "Oh, sorry, mate. So you had to go through that," and that's it, and they move on. Now it's getting to a point because there's our society is changing in front of our eyes. Yeah, we've got. I know about 10 white families with black in their family now. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah, and everyone's connected to someone that's black, and most people are in this country now. So if you're gonna abuse someone that's in my family because of the color of their skin, I'm gonna have to take up an issue with that now, being a white person. Do you understand? Because it's getting closer to home now, and that the person in my family has never done anything wrong to anyone.
It's never gonna make sense.
But I'm just saying it's starting to grow